Sustainability has become an important issue. While UDPL has invited several expert panels to deliver and debate show, ships move almost every day, leading a huge amount of pollution. Green hydrogen promises a cleaner and greener future, or just a costly dream? Stay tuned for our debate show to explore more. Let's get started.
Let's welcome our policy expert, Dr. Tew, and environmental expert, Dr. Liu. Let's welcome our economic expert, Dr. Derek, and technical expert, Dr. Leong. Hi everyone, have you guys prepared the materials? Because the debate is about to start. And good afternoon everyone. Today's panel takes on a hot question. Should we replace fossil fuels with green hydrogen in the shipping industry? Our reference point is Atihad et al. 2021. Green hydrogen as an alternative fuel for the shipping industry. Let's dive in. The shipping industry is responsible for 2.2% of global carbon emissions, faces increasing pressure to meet the International Maritime Organization's decarbonization targets of 40% of carbon reduction by 2030 and 70% by 2050, causing hydrogen to emerge as a leading alternative. Nonetheless, major barriers remain.
So let me to start. The shipping sector is under more stiff regulation pressure today. The International Maritime Organization has set a 40% emission cuts by 2013 and 70% by 2015. These targets are not optional, they are legally binding. That's why the green hydrogen produced from renewables is being pushed forward. So at here, I agree with the base journal that hydrogen is a promising alternative aligned with the emission target. But I also disagree with their optimism about the rapid adoptions. Alright, the global production capacity is limited and most projects are still in the pilot stage. Without the multinational collaboration, we risk the falling behind the schedule.
Dr. Tew, you are right. But how about our ambitions? But ambition doesn't pay the bill. Let's be real, green hydrogen today costs about 3 to 4 times more than the grey hydrogens according to the base journal. And then add the infrastructure. Ship needs tanks 2.5 times larger than the LNG tanks for the same energy. And that means less cargo space, more boil-off losses and skyrocketing operating costs. I agree with the base journal that hydrogen offers long-term potential. However, I disagree with that. Their suggestion that economics will balance out quickly unless government throw in huge subsidies or impose carbon taxes. No ship owners will be willing to switch. That's all for my point.
But Derek, what is the cost of inaction? If we continue burning heavy fuel oil, we face the accelerated climate disaster such as the rising sea levels, hot disruption, as well as the extreme weather damaging ships, right? So here, I strongly agree with the study stated that hydrogen environmental benefit outweigh fossil fuels. Also, the research stated that hydrogen can cut up to 95% of life cycle GHG emissions. And unlike oil, spills are not toxic like hydrogen dissipate into the air within minutes. But I disagree with their framing of hydrogen as a purely technical issue. This is also about survival, health, and ecosystem.
Fine. Hydrogen doesn't pollute the environment, but let's not ignore about the safety. Hydrogen has a flammability range of 4 to 75% and an ignition energy of only 0.017 mJ. And that's far easier to ignite than LNG or oil. Here I disagree with the base journal, who tend to downplay the hydrogen volatilities. Imagine a hydrogen ship's accident. Headline would call it as a floating bomb. Public trust would vanish overnight.
True, right? Hydrogen is flammable, but so are all fuels. LNG can explode, ammonia is corrosive, methanol is toxic, The real issue is the management through the technology. With cryogenic storage, double barriers, active venting, and crew training, risks can be controlled. We are already seen dual-fuel hydrogen engines in prototypes. Here, I agree with the base journal. Technology can manage risks, but unlike them, I stress that safety requires ongoing adaptation, not blind confidence.
But Wen Xuan, you also know the volumetric density problem. The hydrogen has one of the lowest energy density per volume. That makes it unsuitable for the ultra long haul shipping. So I disagree with the base journal here. They suggest hydrogens could fully replace the fossil fuel. But realistically, it cannot serve the long haul shipping challenges on its own.
You're right. Pure hydrogen alone won't carry the industry. That's why I advocate for a multi-level strategy. Hydrogen for short to medium haul, ammonia and methanol for long haul. This partly aligns with the base journal, but I expand by stressing the hybridization. Think of the hydrogen as one piece of the decarbonization portfolio, not the only answer.
Exactly. And government are already exploring green shipping corridor like designated trade route with refueling infrastructure. If paired with subsidies, training and public outreach, we can build trust and acceptance. So here I agree with the study stated that the infrastructure investment is key, but I add the social acceptance factor.
So once again, we're talking about government paying the bill. But let's not forget, developing countries can't afford this. I disagree with the base journal. We largely overlook the global trade inequity. Is green hydrogen going to be the just rich country solutions? What happened to the global trade balance?
That's where the international collaboration method. Look at the Europe Fix for 55 package or Japan's hydrogen roadmap. These policies are not charity. They are the strategy move to lead the green transitions and capture the market. So I agree with the base journal on policy leadership, but unlike them, I highlight the carbon border tax as a global equalizer.
Ooh, I like that in here. Let me throw in something. Public perception. Will people even trust hydrogen ships after hearing words like floating boat?
This is a crucial point. Public acceptance requires transparent communication and pilot demonstration. Right now, hydrogen still suffers from what researchers call the Hindenburg effect. People link hydrogen to the 1937 Hindenburg acid disaster, even though today hydrogen storage and handling are completely different. So I agree with the journal stated that perception challenge exists, but I stress education and trust building as essential.
And frankly, fossil fuel ships are also floating climate bombs. If we don't shift, we are just trading one kind of risk to another.
Maybe so, but investors still prefer predictable old risks over the new uncertain ones.
Point taken. Now let's get final recommendations. What's the smartest way forward?
Strengthen global collaboration and carbon pricing. Without the consistent route, I mean the transactions stall.
Focus on economic realism. Develop subsidies, tech incentive and financing models, or else adoption won't happen.
Invest in public education, safety standard and crew training. Without trust, technology won't scale.
Push R&D to reduce boil-off, improve storage and hybridize fuels. Tech will unlock feasibility.
So, is hydrogen feasible? The answer is yes, but not alone. As the base journal concluded, the issue isn't if hydrogen will arrive, but how fast and with what partners. Thank you for our theory panel.
Bruh. Huh?